Yes, sir! Son, I'm surprised people don't talk about this fight. Gon versus Bomber. This fight was low-key underrated. So we're going straight into it. No intro, no nothing. So if you ever watched the fight and were like, nah, this was not no fight. This was a dog. Jake Paul versus Anthony Josh. Best way to close off 2025. I'm dying. Got Buddy on D sucking position. That man was holding his legs like gum to old tape. Gon versus the Bomber is one of those fights. I'm actually surprised that people don't talk about this fight because the fight was actually good and the Bomber is actually strong. In fact, he could even be considered top 5 in the verse when it comes to Nen abilities, because Genthru's ability is the Bomber, and the Bomber has 2 separate abilities, Little Flower and Bomber. Nen abilities that work together thematically. Little Flower is kind of an emission and transmutation type of ability in its close range. With Little Flower, Genthru can literally create an explosion out of his hands, kind of like Bakugo. Anything he touches, it literally explodes. And the other ability, Bomber, this is what made his reputation, because with this ability, Buddy was out here bombing people left and right. Imagine you piping fine shit and out of nowhere your dick explodes. Nah, I'm crying. Bomber is literally an ability that makes Genthru turn anyone and anything into a bomb. There are drawbacks. The Little Flower, he has to cold his hand with Ken, because if he doesn't, the explosion is gonna hurt him too. The stronger the explosion, the more Nen he has to use to protect himself. And if the defense isn't enough, he takes damage too. And with Bomber, the target literally has to say Genthru's ability name. Genthru says Bomber, you respond even casually, it doesn't matter. Boom, you're now a living bomb. The bomb gets attached to the target, you don't feel it, you don't even sense it. It doesn't explode instantly. Genthru decides when and how it explodes. And the way Genthru used this ability was incredible, because he used that shit to slime the fuck out of niggas. He'll pretend to be a friend of you, gain your trust, and then he place bombs on you quietly, and then he'll wipe out the whole group. Son, this is evil, saying. This is what using your ability to the fullest looks like. With this ability, he was out there wilding on Greed Island, out there sliming people left and right, jugging people and stealing their cards. And finally, they came up to our squad. With Killua and their squad, they were quick enough to discover that Genthru was the Bomber. So with that, they made a plan to catch him. But this cannot be an easy plan. This is why I love this fight, because Genthru not a dummy. That man knows how to fight, and he has a very versatile ability that he can use. So catching him off guard, it was not gonna be easy. So they made a divisive plan to catch him. With everybody knowing how dangerous Genthru is, nobody was trying to risk it. No one except Gon. That's a dog right there. Nobody told him to do this. He volunteered himself to go fight Genthru. Nobody forces him. Nobody pressures him. He volunteered himself to go fight Genthru. And everybody told him, you're not gonna win. But they had a plan, and Gon had accepted the cost. And that's key to everything that happened. So they finally managed to lure Genthru in, using Gon as bait. And Genthru immediately peeps that they know it's him. So he has to fight. He has no choice. So the fight starts with Genthru trying to touch Gon with Little Flower. Gon blocks and backs up. And you see it on Genthru's face. Oh, nah, they caught me. So Gon proposes a deal. Winner takes all cards. And Genthru like, oh, say less. Nice. How many cards you got? 102. 102? Oh, nah, you free food out here, son. Thanksgiving type of food. I'm finna be at the bathroom after this. At this point, it's on. This kid already told Gon, you're strong enough to survive some explosions. So the plan was simple. Stay on offense, force him to use Little Flower, drain him. Gon isn't trying to outskill him, he's trying to outlast him. Gon starts getting cooked on purpose. So Gon rushes in with a straight punch. Genthru weaves it and he's smiling, my nigga? Son, I was just joking about this being Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua, son. This man is smiling, son. I'm done with this video. Gon follows it with the kick and Genthru sidestep and he's still smiling, gang. They trade quick punches. Gon swings, Genthru blocks and parries. And with that, you can already see the gap. Genthru is more experienced, more composed. Gon remembering everything Biscuit said, keep attacking no matter what. Goes for another blow and fire! Gon gets hit. Got that boy spinning mid-air like Spider-Man ragdoll physics. That hit alone tells you Genthru right now is stronger. Gon gets up slowly, breathing heavily. He remembers what Biscuit said. You can't win head-on, but you can endure it. That's what I'm talking about, Gon. That's a dog right Gon gets hit again with an uppercut, making him fly away. At this point, Gon knows he's getting outclassed, but he also knows that that's fine, because the plan isn't to win early. It's to force Little Flower. So with Gon getting up again, that makes Genthru snap, looking down on him. So he grabs his hand and explodes. Gon's arm is burned, skin turned, pain everywhere, but the arm is still intact. Genthru protected himself with Ken, which limited the blast, and Gon didn't let go. He forces the distance and keeps moving forward. He out there telling Gon it's no use. You doing this for nothing, game. Basically put a young thug. Boy, slow down, dropping all that BS music. Another explosion grabs Gon again, this time more damage. Gon's body shakes. He gets hit in the gut immediately after. Gon collapses, everyone watching thinking it's over. Gon stands back up. That is a dog right there. Now, after this, Genthru starts to realizing something terrifying. This damn kid is trying to outlast me. Gon isn't trying to dodge everything. He's trying to tank and control the explosions. That's insane. So peeping this, he gets mad. He grabs Gon's arms. He grabs one of his arms again and goes for a gut punch. When he tried to use his ability again, he knew that Gon knew what he was going to do. So with all that being said, Genthru is tired of the games. He wants to take Gon out right now. So he starts slowly walking by, telling him he's gonna explode both his arm and probably let him choose which one he wants to keep and explode his legs too. He starts slowly walking towards Gon and dashes and just grabs his hand and explode both of his arms. This time, Gon lets it happen. He protects one side of his body but then lets the rest take the damage. Both arms are destroyed. In the manga, this was way worse, son. In the anime, they managed to block a little bit of the blood, but there was blood everywhere. And for a moment, even Gon freezes, looks at his hands, process what just happened. Then he moves. That's a dog right there. He doesn't care. He's like, damn, I got hurt. But shit, fuck it. The mission goes on. That's a dog right there. But in the midst of it all, Genthru starts shaking and he starts seeing lights. He's like, blood on some Gara shit. This blood, it's mine. But it's too late. Gon charges up a rock and knocks him over. Still confused. He doesn't know what happened, but he puts two and two together. Only now did he realize Gon protected half of his body and let the only protected part be his legs, which he used to beat the shit out of him. It was so fast and so hard, he didn't even see it coming. Genthru finally understands. This kid sacrificed his arm just to land one hit. A normal person doesn't do that. That's exactly it. Gon is not a sane person, bro. I done seen many videos of people talking about this man's mental state, and this man is not a sane person at all. This is the same person that would sacrifice his entire life just to get a lick on somebody. Nah, son, you are talking wild. So with that, Genthru starts acting like he surrenders. He even said he was gonna give one of his cards away. Gon, knowing that it's a trick, he feeds into it because it's part of the plan. Dog, the next part that's about to happen shows you how much of a dog Gon is. Dog, he knew what Genthru was gonna do. What Genthru did was insane. Gon got close and Genthru broke his throat, son, and then karate chopped him. And Gon responds by saying, you made a big mistake. Because Gon knew the card that he was gonna trade, it was the fuel card. And then he activates the fuel card and then he bangs it on him. Gentru's like, oh, fuel, how cute. Listen, kid, one of my other abilities is literally turning people into bombs. And all the requirements have been met. So he's like, no, all our requirements have been met. So he charges the rock and destroys the ground, landing into their trap. And then Gon uses the rock card to fill the hole, destroying all the rocks and trapping Genthru exactly where Gon wanted him. He's now charging that rock paper, and that boy Genthru out there crying. I'm crying, son. Think somebody finna help him, but he knows this finna hurt. He's out there yelling, I surrender, I surrender. He gets hit with that rock. No Kodak Black. Damn, I said rock so many times in this video, you would've think I'm selling something. Hitting Genthru with one of the hardest rocks I ever seen Gon hit somebody. And after that heavy rock he just hits him with, he finished it by saying, us. Hey, as a jiu-jitsu nigga myself, I felt that us. I love this fight so much, bro, because this fight encapsulates what I love about shonen. This fight hits so different, bro. This fight wasn't about power. This fight was about control versus commitment, fear versus acceptance, strategy versus obsession. Genthru hesitated. Gon did it. And that says you a lot about Genthru. If Genthru would have had using his ability the right way, he would have probably been top 5 in the verse. Genthru lost not because he was weak, but because he hesitated. And Gon won not because he was stronger, but because he was willing to pay a price nobody else would. That man said, you can take my arm, but just not this leg. This fight showed us who Gon really is, and I believe he gave us a glimpse of what was to come for the future. And that's why this fight feels so uncomfortable to watch, because it's not hype, it's not clean, it's violent in a real way. If this fight had happened in another anime, they'll go insane. They call it plot. But in Hunter x Hunter, they say, nah, actions have consequences, and Gon paid every single one. So yeah, if you slept on this fight, go rewatch it. If you remembered it, you already know why it's special. But yeah, that's basically it. Got anything else you want to recommend for me to follow? Just hit me with it in the comments below, and I'll do it. And yeah, that's basically it. And I'm out.